Hello, so right now I have this teddy bear pattern out. I think it's by Klein Maker. I think that's the person's name. But yeah, I have this teddy bear pattern here, and then I also have this mushroom pattern by Crochet, which is one of my favorite free pattern makers on Instagram. I have these printed out here just because I'm about to watch a video and I want to make sure that I don't like burn up my iPad battery by using it while it's on the charger. So yeah, I have these printed out. I don't know what it is, but for some reason these take so long for me. So I think I'm gonna start with these bears, and then I will check in with you guys once I have like 4 or 5 of these. It is Sunday. I didn't record yesterday because I was at a vintage market thing and I was over there like shopping, so I didn't really have time to crochet. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys the progress that I made on, what was it, like Saturday morning or like Friday night-ish. I started on some axolotls. I have 3 ones like this. I have 3 pink ones. I have some popping mushrooms. Then I have these 5 bees, and then I have 5 of the teddy bears. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep making the axolotls because honestly I wasn't too irritated with making them this time. I think because I kind of took some time off from making these. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to making some of those axolotls. I think I'm gonna just do pink, blue, and purple axolotls because those are my most like popular colors, especially the pink ones specifically. I don't think I'm gonna do the yellow ones or like the orange ones or like the variegated yarn ones anymore. I think I'm just gonna do pink, blue, and purple for those, just to save myself a little bit of time. And plus I know that most of the times, like 10 out of 10 times, people will prefer the pink, blue over like the browns, oranges, and reds. So let's go ahead and keep up the good work. I'm gonna do probably 3 more of the pink ones, and then I'll do like 3 or 4 of the blue ones. All right, so I just finished up all 5 of these small axolotls that I wanted to do, but the other day I got a comment on my video asking how I attached the keychains to my plushies when they were already done. So I just thought I'd show you guys the 2 ways that you can attach the keychains to your plushies. So as y'all can see, this plushie is already done. It's going to be one of those small like little BMO keychains. I'm making some more of these for my market. So the keychains that I'm going to use are the same keychains that I use for the other markets, but you want to make sure that you have something that has a loop that you can open. Like for example, you can't use like this with no opening at the bottom that you can't like get into. It's not going to work. You need a keychain that has like a large ring that you can actually put your crochet hook through. So that's where these come in. These are just little keychain like links. I don't know what they're called. If you just type in like keychain links online, you can find these from anywhere. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Y'all have probably seen these like on your keychains or like on anything that you buy from like a store anywhere. So I'm just gonna take this, and if your keychain is already complete, all that you have to do is just go through the top of the keychain with your crochet hook, and I'm trying to like zoom in a little. So just go through the top of your project and go through a decent amount of stitches. I went through 2 rows there, these 2 rows, and then I'm just gonna take this and just lay it across there and just kind of like slip this through. But of course, if you want to make this like easier, just use like a bigger crochet hook. And I'm just gonna use this crochet hook to pull that through, and as y'all can see, it just like popped through super easy. And now you have your plushie on a keychain, and then after that's on there, you can take your plastic piece or whatever like actual keychain that you're attaching on top. And keep in mind, you can just literally close this up and have this as your keychain. Like this is completely fine. I've done that before, but I already have these. I already bought them, and I want to add some extra color, so I'm just going to put this on there as well. And this also gives like another way to attach this to something, so they can take this off and use it for something else if they want to, or they can just use the silver thing. And then I'm just going to close this up, and then this will be permanently on the plushie until someone takes it off. So now that that's on there, that's pretty much how you attach it. If your plushie is already done, you just go ahead and loop that through, and then you have it on there and it's not going to fall off. So that's one way that you can attach it, just by pulling it through. Another way that you can attach it is by weaving it in as you're doing your project. I don't normally do it this way just because I feel like it slows me down a little bit. Like when I'm crocheting, I just want to stay crocheting, but you can also do it this way. And then I'm going to grab a link and then I'm going to close it. So you want to close this one up. It's not like the other one where you leave it open. This one you actually close it, and then at the end you can open it back up and put your colorful keychain on there. So I have my 10 and I'm just going to put this onto the actual piece. So just like loop it through. It's not holding on to anything, it's just on there. And I'm gonna just follow my pattern. Okay, so I'm just gonna crochet 8 like it says, and then on the third one I'm gonna put the loop on. Okay, now that I did my third one, I'm just gonna put that there and just like slide it in between those 2 stitches, and then I'm just gonna skip the chain and then just put that right in there. So I'm just gonna kind of clamp it in there. Yep, that way it's like clamped in between those stitches, and now it won't come out. And then I'm just gonna continue as normal. Then 3 single crochets in the last stitch, and then just like on the other side, right around the 3rd or 4th chain, we're gonna stop and make sure that we slide this keychain over the top. Okay, so we're just gonna make sure that this keychain is on the outside, just like that, making sure that once, like if you imagine the keychain, this is going to be the top of the keychain. You want to make sure that it's visible from the top and not like on the bottom side where it's going to be on the inside of the plushie. Make sure that it's on the outside, and then just crochet right around that. 4, 5, 6, 7, then 2 single crochets in the last stitch. 1, 2. So as you can see, that's crocheted in there and it's not going to come out. And this is the top part of the plushie, so no one's going to see the underneath side where that little ball is. You'll just want to make sure that you're crocheting with this on the outside, with the chain on the outside of the plushie. Okay, so I haven't really recorded much today, but I have been locked in on crocheting. I have 5 bees, 5 mushrooms, 5 bears, 5 pink, 5 blue axolotls, and then I was going to do 5 of each of these keychains, but honestly I don't know if 5 will sell. I might come back and make 5 of blue, 5 of pink, but I'm not sure. I definitely want to do 5 purple axolotls and then at least 2 purple little BMO keychains. But for right now, I'm about to start on some leggy frogs. I have 2 different color greens. I have a mint green, which is just Parfait Chunky's mint, and then I have a lime green, which is Parfait Chunky's key lime. So I'm going to start on these bundles of this yarn and then one of those, but for right now I'm just going to start with these 2 colors. And yeah, I will record a little time lapse of these just because I haven't really been recording today and I've gotten so much done. So I went ahead and moved everything to this big bag here just because my desk was kind of getting overrun by these plushies, and plus I didn't want my cat to play with any of this. I did go ahead last night and complete 3 star keychains. I also completed 5 of these green frogs. I actually got tired of making these just because they're so easy to make, but at the same time, I don't know, I just get burned out on leggy frogs, so I just made 5 of those. I didn't make any mint ones yet. And then last thing, I also made 2 of these little chicken keychains. I just have to put the eyes and the blush on these, and these are just going to be really small, like just little $5 items. So yeah, that's all that I have right now. As y'all can see, I don't have any purple axolotls, and for some reason I'm kind of into the axolotls right now, so I think I'm going to make some purple axolotls. So the other day I got a comment on my video that was asking about how I use the Cricut to cut out different felt details for my small plushies. For these plushies here specifically, I like to use felt to add on the small details, just because I feel like sometimes crocheting them, it just gets a little bit messy, and using the felt just makes it come out a lot cleaner. So I'm going to show you guys how you can use the Cricut to cut out your felt details for the mouth details. And then I have this light blue that's for a button detail, and then these yellow and red ones are also for button details, and this green as well. Like, if you're going to use a felt, try not to get the felt that's like floppy like this, because the Cricut has a hard time cutting through this, and then the little fuzzy pieces get stuck on the mat, and that makes it hard to clean your mat and make it sticky for other projects. I like to opt for this felt that's like hard. I don't even know what this is called. Now, since this one is obviously the wrong felt, I'm just going to end up cutting the circles out of this with the scissors, just because it goes a lot faster to cut this type of felt with scissors. But this felt here is perfectly usable. The hard felt, it can like hold its own shape. This felt is way better for the Cricut, so I'm going to use this. So I've already kind of measured out the size for the buttons that I'll need for these plushies, but I'm going to do one button at a time because there's obviously many different colors. You can lay it out on the Cricut interface to where it's different colors on each section, but I just like to start and stop it and just do one per sheet and not overload the Cricut mat, because sometimes the cut is off and then it just ruins everything, and then it just irritates me. So of course I'm going to take my mat here and I'm going to go ahead and add this yellow. Once again, I'm using the felt that's able to hold its own shape. We can go ahead and start cutting within this block here. Now that everything's loaded, I'm going to go ahead and go to the shapes. You can also download an image offline and upload that to here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click shapes and see what they have, and shapes is over here off to the side, and this is the stuff that automatically comes with Cricut. I'm not going to use any of those. I'm just going to click this plus right here, and this plus is kind of skinny, but I'm going to see if this plus can be worked with. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, and now we have our plus on the Cricut canvas. And now I'm going to make sure that the operation is on basic cut, because that's just going to cut out this shape. If you had it to where you're like trying out different shapes and you just want to see what the shape is going to look like, but you only have like one piece of felt and you really don't have time to mess it up, you can do print then cut, and like print it out on copy paper just like with the black ink, just to test it out and see what the shape is going to look like first before you use your felt. But I'm not going to use print and cut because I kind of know what the shape is going to look like. So I'm just going to make sure that it's on basic cut. That way it's not going to send anything to my printer or anything crazy. And then for my size, this size section right here with this lock, it changes the width and the height for you. That way you don't have to go on bit by bit to make it what you want it. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to type in 0.5 because I want this to be a 1/2 inch, and this is the plus that we have. Now I'm going to zoom in on my canvas by clicking down here where you can zoom in, and I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger, that way y'all can see on the camera. So that's our shape that we have right now, plus sign, and this is a 1/2 inch square. I'm just going to highlight it, and I'm going to right click on it, and I want to click duplicate, and I'm going to duplicate this a few times. Now you could just copy and paste this, copy paste, but I'm just gonna highlight that, duplicate it one time, and then highlight both of them and then duplicate it again. That way I get 4 of them, and then I'm gonna highlight those, stack them up, that way I'm using the least amount of the felt as possible. And then we have our 4 plus signs that we're gonna cut out. So before you cut it out, you're gonna want to highlight everything and click attach. That way they stay in this formation, because if you don't attach them, then they're going to start moving this up to where you're using it long ways. And if you only have like a small square of felt, you don't want to have your Cricut cutting out things that's not there. Like, it'll cut directly on the mat where the felt isn't. So I'm going to make sure that I attach those, that way they don't move. So now that everything is set up on the computers, and all that we have to do now is press the Cricut flashing button, and then it'll start to cut out our design. So I'm going to press that, and then I'll be back once it's done cutting. So before I even try to remove the mat, I'm going to check and make sure that these are cut out fully. You always want to make sure that they're cut out fully before you take your mat off. That way, if they're not, you can run another cut and it'll cut in the exact same spot. If you unload it, then it's not going to cut in the same exact spot, and then you're probably going to have some miscuts. As y'all can see right there, they're all the way cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and unload my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of my shapes using the same formula that I used to cut these shapes out, and then I'll be right back to show you guys how to attach them to your plushie. All right, so over here I have all of my pieces cut out. I went ahead and hand cut these green circles because obviously I said that I couldn't put this into the machines. Red circles too big, so I just redid it and made them a little bit smaller. And then of course my plus signs that I used for demonstration. So everything is done. Everything has eyes, everything has a face, and it all looks super cute. I ended up finishing up these bees, just putting eyes on them. I'm still undecided if I want to do blush or not. Normally things without blush do a little bit better. I'm not really sure why. I might put blush on like 2 of them and leave 3 of them without the blush. But I went ahead and finished up these popping mushrooms. I like to put the tiny eyes on these little mushrooms. I just feel like they look so like beady eyed. So I like those. And I got these bears here. I'm still undecided if I want to put like a white around the eye. I feel like the brown is so dark that you can barely tell the difference between the bear's skin tone and the eyes. I did with the bees with the blush. Just do like 2 with the white outlines and then leave the other 3 blank. I got the frogs done with their eyes, and then I got the Bemo keychains with all their little details on them. The felt details cut out look so cute. The mouths, I ended up forgetting to cut those out on the Cricut, so I ended up just cutting those out by hand. These 3 stars up here have little bows on top of them. I think that the bows add so much. I'm going to do 2 more without bows. I find that the ones with the bows do a little bit better. I'm not sure why. Maybe because they're like more charmy and they have like little ribbons on there. Ribbons are kind of in style right now for some reason. And then I have these 2 little chicken keychains that I finished up. I want to do so many more of those. Maybe in like some yellow and brown color tones, or black, definitely. Some black. I need some black keychains. I don't have anything black. So I'm definitely going to do some black rabbit keychains and maybe some black chicken keychains. I think that'll be super cute. And then last but not least, my little hoard of axolotls. I have all of their eyes on. I normally don't do a mouth or blush on these just because the face is already super tiny. Like I use a size 4 hook for these, so they're already so small that I could barely fit the eyes on there with it being enough space. This is everything that I crocheted over the last like 2 days, 2.5 days. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys for being here. If you watched the full video all the way through, I really appreciate you. Please don't forget to follow my Instagram at introvertcrossing. Also, I will be doing my market this Saturday. It says it's supposed to rain, so I'm hoping that it still goes well, or maybe the rain starts later in the day. Anyways, if you guys want to see a market vlog, market recap, market anything, I do have a market this Saturday and I will be uploading footage of that market on Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys for coming to this video today, and I will see you guys in Friday's video. Bye guys.